You think this is a pretty high-stakes event, don't you? Why?
Sure. Well, I think the reporter Steve called it out. Count them, 4 quarters of lower revenue. And that is not a good thing for a market leader, and certainly the largest market cap stock in the S&P 500. It's a problem. So they have to make a case. And the panda in the room, not the elephant in the room, is China. And there might be decreasing sales from China. Is how are they going to make up those lost sales and drive innovation to make us want some more Apple to spend on?
Right, exactly. Paul, we haven't even kind of talked about China as a risk going forward here. Already, the company's coming off its 3rd straight quarter of negative year-on-year revenue growth, and that's garnering comparisons with, yes, IBM.
Yeah, I'm worried about Apple. Right now it trades for about 3 or 4 times a reasonable long-term growth rate for either revenue or earnings per share. I think going forward, maybe a 5% grower on the top line, maybe a 10% grower on the bottom line, only through stock buybacks. In the meantime, you have a stock that's trading at 30 times. So among the FANGs and any of the other mega cap tech stocks, I would say I own it, because if you're a tech investor, you have to trade around a core position in case you're wrong. But I would say adamantly that it's the least favorite among the FANGs, the least favorite among my large cap tech holdings.
We talk about, and Apple had 25 billion shares outstanding a decade ago and only 15 billion shares outstanding today, Paul. So they are absolutely doing a lot of financial engineering here. But is that a reason not to love it?
Well, the nice thing about Apple is it has explosive free cash flow. There's been no company in the history of the planet that has generated this kind of cash flow, well over $1 billion per week.
Wow.
However, we also have no growth. And at some point, you have to reaccelerate the growth. So I concur with our other guests that they have to show us something. I don't think they're going to show us anything today, but over time, they're going to have to show us, where does the growth accelerator come from? I actually think that they should probably change their culture, which has been wrapped around it's no good unless it's built here, and consider making an acquisition, and actually a quite large acquisition. Now, they have a strong balance sheet. They could easily do it. But in the past, they've been hesitant to do so. And I think that they have to do something bold.
So when you say something bold, and we're looking at Tim Cook, we say taking the stage, but I think we're showing a video of him standing in the grass. I don't know. We'll get to Steve in a second, Paul. But when you say you want Apple to do something bold and not be so obsessed with products that were built in Cupertino, for instance, what kind of acquisition? Are you talking about a product acquisition? Obviously, a bunch of media acquisitions have been floated for them over the years.
Yes, over time, they've probably considered, because it's been in the media, acquiring Tesla when it was down and out. That probably would have been a pretty big move. And they could have also done Netflix. Probably should have. I think going forward, among the large cap tech names, they've been the most silent on artificial intelligence. And if indeed that is going to be a mega tech trend, if they can't do it internally, or they can't exploit it enough internally, that is where I would go with a large deal.
Who is that acquiree in AI right now? I mean, do they buy NVIDIA, right? Do they look at, a software play? I don't know if OpenAI is a possibility.
That's a very good point. OpenAI definitely is not a possibility because, of course, it's bankrolled by Microsoft. And I don't think NVIDIA would be either, right? The manufacturer of semiconductors, even though NVIDIA is a fabulous semiconductor company, probably doesn't jive with Apple. I really don't know what it's going to be, but they somehow have to better embrace that theme.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Because that's probably your best opportunity for accelerated growth, and they badly need it.
Yeah, it sounds like they might not know either. Kim, quick comment?
I disagree. I think this feels a lot like Microsoft when everybody thought it should be broken up into operating system and other stuff, to show the growth of the other stuff like Office. And they really have demonstrated that that was not the right thing to do. Or bring in an outsider. That was also Wall Street's favorite idea. I think Apple is an innovation company. It is not a favorite stock, but I am going to give it credit that they have innovators, and I want to see them innovate their way out of this problem and earn that multiple.